would like to start today. So welcome to this webinar about the STIPP instrument. Happy to have you here and inform you about the STIPP instrument and specifically about the upcoming call 4. This session will be recorded, so be aware of this. If you don't want to be in the recording, please set your camera off, and it would also be nice to unmute yourself at the moment. Questions can be asked. You can ask them in the chat, and we will go through them at the end of this presentation. So again, welcome. My name is Leandra Schmitz. I'm a business developer at LIOF. LIOF is the regional development agency of the province of Limburg in the Netherlands. And we are one of the 7 partners within the STIPP instrument. The partnership is 6 regional development agencies in the area and the fund management team from Interreg. Most of the partners are also present today, so also for questions they are available at the end. So what will we discuss today? This is not the first webinar we are having about the STIPP instrument, but I think some people are new to STIPP, some people already are a bit aware of STIPP, just interested in call 4. So therefore I will go through the STIPP instrument, but a bit more quickly than usual. I will discuss the upcoming call 4 and its improvements we made in this regulation. We will share some tips on how you can receive support during the STIPP application phase. And I'm happy to share that we have a STIPP project who is willing to share his experience in the STIPP project. So they are involved from call 1, so it's a project consortium, and they will share some experiences with you about STIPP. At the end, I will share the contact details of all the RDAs involved, and of course we have time for questions at the end. And as mentioned, please feel free to ask them in the chat already, so we can go through them at the end. So what is STIPP? STIPP is short for SME Transition Innovation Partners Projects. Quite a mouthful, but we are here to support and finance cross-border innovations for SMEs. We see that within this region we have quite some SMEs with expertise, but that you can even build more innovative ideas if you connect those SMEs together and that they can build together. So this instrument is really about the collaboration and a sustainable partnership with other SMEs. We're focusing on the Meuse-Rhine region, and in a few slides later on I will specifically show you what is this region. And the STIPP instrument has a total available of 10 million ERDF. As the title of this webinar announces, it's call 4, so we already also spent some of this money, but I will also announce how much money is still available. So for who is STIPP interesting? Who's the target group, and what are the requirements to be able to apply within STIPP? So if you're working on an innovative ID with a minimal technical readiness level of 4 to 6, if you see that there's a clear economic impact, so you develop something and you can earn money with this ID, but if you also see that you're still missing some expertise to be fully developing this ID, and if you're open for a cross-border collaboration, if you answer all those questions with yes, then STIPP will probably be a good match for you. But then it's interesting to know what kind of projects are we looking for. So an innovation for us, it can be an innovation within a product, within a service, or within a process. The project should be, as mentioned, innovative, but also market-oriented, and there should be a certain economic impact in the MR region. It can also be broader than the MR region, but it would be nice if there is also impact in this region. As mentioned, as usual in grant schemes, there is a certain TRL level which you should fit within. For STIPP, that's you should start at TRL 4 or 6.
Voilà.
4 means that.
Cool, mais ça va. J'ai demandé à copilote de prendre
I'm
des notes.
sorry, can you mute yourself? I'm sorry. TRL 4 means that there is at least a proof of concept. You can start there, but then the project should at least finish at TRL 6, so demonstration in a relevant environment. Next to that, we are looking for projects that address major societal challenges. And for STIPP, we identified 3. You can see them on the right side of the page. It's industrial transition, green transformation, and healthier citizens. But it's also good to mention that projects that have a focus on security and or Einstein telescope are also eligible as well. So who can benefit from STIPP? We are focusing on SMEs in the program area. We use the European definition of SMEs, so that means that it should be an enterprise carrying out economic activities, less than 250 employees, and a turnover of less than 50 million, or the balance sheet less than 43 million. The other requirement, which is normal within European grants, is that the SME should not be an undertaking in difficulty. For companies that are younger than 3 years, you're never in difficulty, but be aware that you have to share your business plan then. For those 2 requirements, it's important that you take into account the entire group structure. So your mother company, any daughter companies should be taken into account when calculating those numbers. And we can imagine that sometimes it's not clear for you if you are fitting in these requirements. So if you are unsure about your eligibility, get in touch with the RDAs. We are happy to support you. There are certain checks you have to fulfill if you apply for STIPP, and we can help you to do that first, to see if you can be if you are eligible to apply within STIPP. We also have a limited grant available for SMEs that are not in the program area. A maximum of 30,000 euros ERDF is available for those companies. So be aware that that's an opportunity for them. However, it's a maximum of 30,000. So if you are 2 companies from outside the program area, it's still 30,000 euros. But it will be on top of the project budget of the consortia involved in the program area. This also implies that large enterprises and knowledge institutions, they are not able to receive a grant within STIPP. So I'm talking about the program area. So what is the program area? So the STIPP instrument is an instrument within the Interreg Meuse-Rhine program. And the dark blue area is the region that we are focusing on. So it's 5 regions in 3 countries. It's part of the Limburg in the Netherlands, Limburg in Belgium, part of Wallonia, part of North Rhine-Westphalia, and part of Rheinland-Pfalz. We know that the figure is not really clear on where which city is, so we always recommend to check the NUTS 3 codes, which you can see on the right, if your location of your company fits in those areas. You don't need to have your headquarters in the area, but it is important that you have an established location which is registered in the Chamber of Commerce for your company in that area. That was quickly the STIPP instrument. Now I will focus on the upcoming call 4. This is not published yet, so this is new information, so you are the first to hear about it. Call 4 will open this summer, which is good news. So if you're not going on holiday, you can spend a lot of time on it. If you are going on holiday, you still have time because it closes on October, at the end of October. We will have an available budget of 3 million of the total of the 10 million which I mentioned earlier. And as in the other calls, you still need a cross-border collaboration. This means that you should have a partner from a different national region within that program area I just mentioned. The documents, they are not finished yet because it will open in August, but they will be available at the end of July, and they will be, you can visit them on the STIPP website. There you will find all the latest documents for Call 4. We saw that we could make some improvements in the grant scheme, and there is also the largest changes, I think, for Call 4, because we try to simplify this table a bit for you. So how much money is involved within STIPP projects? You can still have a 50% grant of your project costs. This also means that you still have to bring in 50% of the own funds, but we have a maximum grant depending on the composition of the consortium, and this we simplified a bit. So as mentioned, you still need a cross-border collaboration, but if you have more regions involved, you can also have more available budget, ERDF budget for your project. So if you have only two partners, so for instance, a partner from Aken and a partner from Maastricht, the maximum ERDF project budget is 150,000 euros. So that's a total project costs of 300,000 euros. If you involve all the 5 regions, you can go up to 600,000 euros. Important to mention that we did make a cap for the amount of budget per region. Mostly you see that there's just one company involved per region, but if you have 2 companies from Maastricht, be aware that you have that you take that maximum amount into account. We think it's important that we talk about collaboration, so we think a partnership should be balanced. It's not necessary that you have equally balanced partnership, so the equally share of budget within the project, but it should be more or less the same because you are collaborating in this innovation. On the right, you can see the regions. It's the same as the NUTS 3 codes I just shared, but here it's written down which parts is including or not including in the province we mentioned. We see STIPP as a stepping stone for European grants. If you are involved in STIPP and collaborate with a partner across borders, this also opens doors for other grants. We try to simplify STIPP as much as possible. However, we still are involved in a European grant scheme, so we just need to know some stuff, but we try to be as simple as possible, but also give you as much support as possible to make it as easy. We always recommend to use the cost option, the simplified cost option, which is hours plus 40% overhead. We have different cost options available. So for instance, if you have more equipment that you should buy for the project, there are maybe different cost options that might be better for you. But in terms of administration work, this option is recommended by us. Then you need to show which employee is working on the project, how much he earns, so you determine your cost, your hourly rate, and if you calculate all the hours, you get a 40% overhead on this. Within Call 4, we have a 13 weeks selection period, meaning that after the deadline, we still need 13 weeks to go through the assessment, the eligibility and the assessment. So if you calculate quickly, you will know at the beginning of 2027 if your project has been granted or not. Projects we need reporting from projects, and that's twice a year. This can be done via the online portal. And it's also good to mention that pre-financing is possible within the STIPP scheme, and this can be requested after a project has been granted. An application takes time. Applications always take time, especially if you're collaborating with multiple partners. So start and connect early. It's good to prepare well before the deadline. October seems to be a long time ahead, but we know that you will need some time to make sure that everything is in place, that you have the mandatory annexes, and that you are aligned with your other partners to apply for this grant scheme. And therefore, we also recommend to connect with your RDA in your region as soon as possible, so you can receive our support before you apply. And we wanted to share some guidance for this. So what can you expect if you want to apply for a STIPP project? We start with the ID formulation. So if you have an ID on innovation, you can fill in a project ID form. There you define what your project ID is, but also if you're still missing certain expertise. This is important because with this we can help you start looking for a cross-border collaboration. How does this work? Get in touch with the RDA. We will send you the form. You fill it in, send it back to us, and we will go into our networks to see if we have companies that are matching with your expertise question. Sometimes this is not a one-on-one, so we could come up with companies which not fully match with your expertise, but could be valuable for your project. And we see that quite some good matches are made at the moment. If you see that the companies we hand over to you are interesting for you, we will help you to set up a get-to-know meeting. And of course, if this is working, excuse me, we help to build the consortium with you to set some agreements that you can start with your project application. If you're working on your application, in the end you should submit it via the e-portal, the GEM STIPP portal, and then the process of eligibility and evaluation will start. You can receive support from the STIPP RDA partners and also from the fund management, and this is good to know because it really helps you in the application phase. So as mentioned, we can help you with the partner search, with our project formulations, and we can also read your concept application and give you feedback on this. There is a pre-check of the mandatory documents available. So before you hand over all the documents, we can check if it's complete. And of course, we are also there during the project and after the project to support you with your innovation and growth in the business. As mentioned, you can receive support, but of course it's important that we also have time to give you that support. So if you're 1 week before the deadline, you still need to check your application, that might be a little bit too late. So please connect with us early to make sure that you can receive the support and that you can also do something with the feedback afterwards. So what makes a proposal successful? All the STIPP projects will be reviewed by the criteria on the sheet. So we will look into the degree of innovativeness of a project. Is it something new in the sector? Is it really new on the market? Are there competitors? What is the unique selling point of the product? We will also see what the focus on one of the societal challenges will be. So what is the impact how does it make a certain sector better or more efficient, and if you can quantify, of course, that would help. Cross-border cooperation and added value is looking into the value of the innovation for this region and how the knowledge of this region is used, but also the value added to the region for the SMEs, for instance. The degree of economic impact is the most important criteria, or at least the highest weight is given for this criteria. And here we're just looking into what kind of business model is there, how will all project partners receive any value from this project, what is the market, revenue, insights, etc. The quality of the project partnerships is really looking into you as partners. Are you complementary to each other? Why is this partnership needed? And is it not just a customer-supplier relationship? And the quality of the application is looking into the work packages. Is your project plan realistic? Is the results that you're writing down realistic to receive in the time you are aiming for? And last but not least, in case there is a budget restraint, so if we have more good projects than budget, the projects with an impact on security or Einstein telescope will get a small advantage, but that's only the case of an equal score at the cutoff point. Good to mention, we developed a writing guide, so if you're writing your application, we can also share this, and it contains some useful tips to see how you should fill in the application form and what you should take into account. Then I will go through the examples. Just a small looking back. So far we had 3 calls. 80% of the eligible projects are approved within STIPP. And this means that at the moment we approved 2.7 million and still 2.4 million is pending because call 3 is not finished yet, or the application phase is not finished yet. This will be presented at the end of this month. So currently we have 13 projects involved, 32 SMEs that are working on innovative projects in the region. But this also means that there's still roughly 50% of the 10 million available for future projects. To give you an example of the support, in 2025 we started 50 partner searches, so 50 companies that were looking for different partners. We came up with 380 suggestions, and the company can select themselves which companies they would like to get to know, and we help them into 90 coordinated get to know meetings, and this resulted in several project consortia that applied for either call 2 or call 3. I would like to give an example of a current partner search where we are still looking for a good partner for this company. The company here, it's a German company, so we're searching for companies with this expertise in the Netherlands, in Flanders, or in Wallonia. So this company is developing and validating an automation journey for the acquisition of geological 3D models. It can be used for the large infrastructure projects, and it will improve the decision making, so shorter time frame. And the company is still looking for an SME that is involved in geotechnical engineering or engineering geology or site investigation, and the company should be able to provide real-world data sets or pilot projects or a domain for validation. Yeah, as mentioned, we're still looking for it. I know that there are many companies in this webinar today. So if you are that company or you know a company that is active in this field, just feel free to let us know, and we can connect you with this partner to see if there's a future collaboration in the making. Then I would like to give the floor to our project RoboBelt BAT. Today we have Lucas Greven from Ixcon Power System, and they are the lead partner within RoboBelt. This project was selected in call 1, and they're also actually the first consortia that is finishing their project, so the first finished STIPP project, and he is willing to share his experience within the STIPP instruments.
Perfect. Okay, so we were asked by STIPP to share our experience with the very first call, which we finished I think it was in April. Let me tell you something about the company. So Ixcon is existing since 1994. Our products mainly are welding technology, surface treatment, industrial microwaves, AC/DC, DC/AC converters, everything you can think of when you think of power electronics. We build a lot of customer-specific devices. We have a company here. So we are located in Stolberg near Aachen, and there is a company in Aachen that we know because my colleague studied with one of the workers there, and they knew about our welding background, and they came to us, they reached out for us, and they said they are a battery pack manufacturer, so they do custom-made battery packs for all kind of applications like power tools, drones, dual use, also e-mobility, traction, and they came to us with the challenge to connect the cells by copper cell connectors, which you can see here in the picture. It's cylindrical cells, and they wanted to connect them with copper. Key benefits of copper, of course, very good electrical conductivity, excellent thermal conductivity. Copper is solderable, so you can solder sensing wires to the copper and so on. Mechanical strength is also a benefit. I already told you something about the fields of application as power tools, drones. The application is where you want to draw a lot of current and power out of the batteries. But it's not very easy to, the key benefits of our micro-TIG welding process. This is a process we actually developed some years ago already, at least the torch and the power electronics. But the key benefits of the process is so you don't need any coating or profiling of the copper cell connectors. The process is very robust. We have a contactless ignition, so the service life of the electrode is pretty long. The system is cost efficient, and it can be easy programmed by just importing a CSV file. There are many companies that try to connect copper to cylindrical cells. It can be done with resistive welding, but for this, copper is not a very good material because of the very good electrical conductivity. So you don't get enough power to melt the copper. And the laser, there's also a process with laser welding, but as copper is very reflective, it's not easy to bring in the power from the laser to make the copper melt. And the quote or the rate of cell damage is pretty high with the laser, because sometimes the laser burns through the copper and through the cell into the cell, which is not good, of course. The only drawback of our process was always the velocity. That was something that our potential customers always said, you are too slow. And then so our expertise is actually the power electronics, the welding process itself, like contactless ignition, the current regulation, the gas, the welding torch. The expertise that we were missing was the robotics, mainly. So we wanted to improve the torch positioning velocity. For a ready-to-sell product, we will need a machine enclosure, which is CE compliant, safety compliant. We would quality assessment is a big topic for customers, so they tell us, yeah, that's a very good process and a good product, but how can we like assess the quality of the weldings? And that is a big point where we are missing expertise. And one day Agit reached out for us, and if we could think of a suitable project for STIPP. And yeah, we took the opportunity to lift our project to the next level, to the next like technical readiness level. STIPP and Agit Liov VLAIO was very helpful in finding project partners. They organized online meetings with potential project partners so we could quickly evaluate if it is a suitable partner for us or not. They assisted us with the application process, and yeah, from the beginning to the end, they supported us in administrative questions. We applied for call 1. The main goal, as I said earlier, was to improve the torch positioning velocity. We did it with a partner from Maastricht, with Vectioneer, and they were very helpful in improving the torch positioning velocity issue that we had. As I said earlier, the call 1 for us was finished in in April. We could significantly increase the production speed, and Vectioneer created a modern and operator-friendly HMI, which you can see in the bottom right corner. We would say that our product has now the technological readiness level 6. We exhibited the machine on the Battery Road Show last week in Stuttgart, and the customer response was very, very positive. But still, we have the points with the quality assessment of the welding. So we decided to submit an application for call 3, and yeah, we find an additional partner, which is Vectioneer will still be a partner, and then we have an additional partner with this, which is MPP from Belgium. So now we are a German company, a Dutch from Province Limburg and Province Limburg, Belgium, and we submitted an application. I think it was like 4 weeks ago. We are now waiting for feedback. The main goals for the next call is, so for us as XCon, it's to modify the welding torch, improve it because now we have to do the positioning for each welding spot, and we want to modify the torch in a way that for each positioning we will do like 2, 3, or 4 spots at once, which will, we hope so, furthermore increase the product speed. The quality analysis of the weldings will be done by MPP, and Vectioneer will create a database or implement a visual camera system, which will then online, while welding, assess the quality of the welding spot. They will be a database. Traceability is a big point. So in the end, we want to be able to collect data for each welding spot. So if something fails in the future with the product, we can say for every welding spot, so this was the data we collected, and Vectioneer will also integrate analytical methods into the production process. As I said, the first we think of is a image processing system. So the easiest way to tell something about the welding quality is to have a picture of the welding spot and see if it's a good one or a bad one. We will then match the data from, let's say, the image. So we will have an image of the welding spot, and MPP will then do testings with the battery, and then we will bring those data together and try to create a method to say, okay, if a welding spot looks like this, it's very probable that the quality is also okay. Oh, and the goal for the next STIPP call is the TRL 8. That's the end of my presentation.
Interesting to hear about your experience and also about the results from the first project. And also really nice that you find a third partner and apply it again within the STIPP instrument. So
yes. So the AGIT, the LIAF, the VLAIO, they are very helpful in finding project partners. So they have a big network of companies, and most of the time, like the first so when they told us that this could be a company for you, it was like the most time it was like, okay, yeah, they are really suitable and will help us.
That's good to hear. Thank you very much, Lucas. Just some last things to also end my presentation, and then we have some time for questions. As mentioned, call 4 will open soon. So if you think after this presentation, I think STIPP can be interesting for me and my project, feel free to reach out to one of the RDAs in the region. You can find the contact details on the slide. If you're not completely sure if it fits, or if you have a SME, or if you have an undertaking in difficulty situation, feel free to reach out. We will support you in checking this requirements, and we can also help in finding the cross-border collaboration as already presented, but also how that you can see within the example of IXCOM that found a partner in Vectioneer and a third partner for this new call. The available budget is 3 million in call 4. So I would say there is room for some projects. And if you have any questions, please feel free to connect. So that is the end of this informative side. If you have any questions, and I saw that there were also already some questions in the chat, we will go try to answer them, and if it's very specific, we will connect you and we will take it up individually with you. So thank you. Let's start with questions, I would say. Starting with the last question from Nora. I might have missed a piece of info. How high is the success rate in STIPP? It was just on the slides. More than 80% of the eligible projects got approved within STIPP, and the funding rate is 50%. So that means that you can receive, depending on how big this consortia is, but for instance, if you have two partners, one for Maastricht, one for Aken, you can receive 150,000 euros ERDF, but you also have to bring in the other 50% yourself. I hope that answered the question. There was a question about the theoretical start of the project. So your project cannot start before you submitted the project, so that's a good thing to mention. The start date should always be after you submitted the project in the online environment, but we would recommend to start at the start of February, because then you also know if your project has been granted or not. You can start earlier, but that's on your own risk, of course. Some questions about... Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, then there was the question about the partner profiles. So no, they are not visible online. So therefore, Leandra also already mentioned, we have regional development agencies and project managers who will be, who can be contacted, and then they will share your information or your request to our network, to the project, and then we will find the right partners. But you cannot search online by yourself. You can search, but this is your own search. But we can support you.
And that's good to mention. Indeed, we try to help you find a relevant partner, but of course you can also search for yourself. But while using our network, we try to give it a boost and find a suitable partner. And some questions about the presentation. The webinar will be available on the internet afterwards, and the presentation slides will also be shared with you.